Uh, hey, hi, welcome to Two Kims, One Pod. I'm Unji Kim.
And I'm Peter Kim.
And this is the podcast.
Hello.
Welcome back. Hi.
You're freshly back.
I'm freshly back. I'm still like almost jet lagged, you know?
Okay, tell us how long you've been in the Motherland.
I got back Sunday. So if I left Sunday morning, I left Incheon Airport at 10:50 a.m. Arrived in America on Sunday morning 9:50.
So you went back in time.
Back in time.
Amazing. Time traveler.
Yeah. Time traveler.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm his wife. And I arrived and like literally went to sleep for 13 hours, like
I bet.
and throughout my back. It was crazy. Like I was.
Did you
so
fly
tired.
straight?
Yeah.
No stops.
No stops.
And did you fly coach?
Of course. Who am I?
I don't know. I was just hoping you had like a rich uncle that paid
Who
for
am
the
I?
grade or something. I was hoping.
Hello?
That's
I'm Wenji
crazy.
Kim, who's been doing this podcast with you for.
Yeah. I was just hoping for something better. Okay, so you flew coach to and from Korea. How long were you in Korea?
I was in Korea for full 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And it
2
had been
weeks.
how long since you've been back?
It's been now 48 hours.
No. Before you went to Korea, how long were you away from Korea?
15 years.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
a 15-year sojourn. And you've
Yes.
now returned to your motherland, where you were born, the
Yes.
country you were born. Okay, so tell us, how was it?
Well, first of all, this is the most time I've spent with my mom one-on-one since I was 18.
Right. This
Right.
was a huge undertaking on your part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm also there with my son.
Right.
Yes.
Three generations.
3 generations. Very good. It was a lot to be traveling with my mom. Also, my mom is now old.
Mm-hmm.
She's a harmony. Like knowing,
Yeah.
like she is elderly,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very apparent. And also, but she's not acknowledging it. She's just like become more of a hater.
Okay. Yeah.
She's not saying that she can't do things because she's old or like it can't do things. It's always because she just hates it.
Okay.
Or it's stupid or it sucks. So, there's that.
Okay. So that was hard.
That was hard. A lot of tansori about everything. Constant, incessant, and then also intense family time period. I will say,
And you didn't leave her with family?
So it did eventually occur. And then it was like really fun to hang out with
Just you two instead
the two of us.
with your mom. Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Oh, cool.
That was probably one of the highlights of the trip. Absolutely.
Okay. What did you get to do with your son?
We just went all over, but my mom still went insane was so afraid of us being alone in Seoul without her. A woman, by the way, who had no internet, could not help us. Reading signs in Korean, couldn't figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's also like so much new Korean speak and words.
Yeah.
And like even the way that people speak now is different, right? Like
what?
Like the grammar around things, and because there's so many new like things socially speaking, or even inside stores, there's like new processes and technology that she doesn't know the words for. And like the lines for things, like she doesn't understand what they're saying sometimes.
Okay.
Like that. So, but that I understand because by virtue of the fact that I live in the modern world and have gone out and traveled, like I understand what they're saying about like receipts and this and like whether or not you sign, you know what I mean? Like very strange because she's so used to only using cash.
Right. Okay. Yeah. She's like stuck in amber and Korea's moved on.
Moved on.
Okay.
Rapidly.
Okay, so she was having a hard time.
Yes. But then also she made my cousin like be with us constantly and like escort us around. Poor guy. So, she kept freaking out about us being alone in the city. Whatever. That's fine. It was very fun with my son. We went and saw a lot of things. We saw museums. We went and ate. We wound up staying at the Four Seasons on Points.
Oh, fun.
Yes, it was very fun.
Without your mom?
Yeah, even though
That's
I had booked
amazing.
Oh
my God.
I had booked it with my mom. It's a whole thing. We arrived in Incheon on Monday, and then on Tuesday my uncle drove with all of us to Mokpo. If you don't know, it's like along the coast of Korea. He had 2 weeks of us traveling all over the perimeter of Korea, all along the coast.
The peninsula. Wow.
The peninsula for 2 weeks. In a car.
Oh my God. How was that?
미치지. Like that's crazy. Like to arrive.
And is he like fun to be around, or?
He's just intense about this type of travel. He has a point
of view on how you should look at Korea.
Yeah, he loves to sightsee. He is a traveler. He and his wife, my imo, like traveled literally around the world. From Busan, they took a boat to Vladivostok.
In Russia?
Which is like in Russia. Took a train all across Russia.
Oh, God.
For weeks.
And what does he do? Snapping pics, selfies? What's he doing? Vlogging?
It's just the experience.
Okay. No journaling and nothing processed or?
Honey.
Are there souvenirs? Is he?
And he's describing to us is like, it took a train through Russia. They took the train to St. Petersburg, and in St. Petersburg take a bus onto a ferry, and the ferry goes to Finland. And then the bus gets off the ferry in Finland, and then that bus goes to the other end of Finland, and they took another cruise from Finland across the Atlantic.
He just doesn't like to fly.
No, and I was like, and he was like, there were very few flights.
He wants to take the longest way possible.
And I literally was like, are you like afraid of flying? And he was like, no, it was a concept.
Concept. Yeah.
Concept.
I get it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a road trip.
It's a road trip.
Yeah.
So this is like their
people
energy,
who don't
right?
live in America don't get it. Like they don't have enough land to traverse, so they're like,
yes.
This is an amazing way to see. Yeah.
Right. And so this is his plan. So we wake up after having traveled for 14 hours, and he makes us drive the next morning for 5 hours to Mokpo, which is like a coastal city. And then from there we drive to like a little further down, and then he drives his car onto a ferry, and we take the ferry to he does and then we take the ferry to Jeju Island, and then from Jeju Island, right, nice Jeju Island, and then we drive another hour and a half
around
across
the island? Oh my God. And just like looking at the 경치,
kind of
just like looking, like literally seeing. Yeah. But when you're driving around a country like that, the sights are pretty much the same.
And
throughout.
몸살.
So you're getting body aches in the car?
And like,
oh no.
And like, I am so car sick. And my son is like all of us, and we're like,
and he doesn't have his iPad, right? So what's he doing in the fucking car? Just like looking out and like.
I like brought the headphones, and I'm trying to. It's 5 hours in the car of just whatever, and so looking out the window, and so
God.
And I'm getting really sick. So. Like I would say most of the trip I was sick, mostly in reaction to all of this. And then I'm realizing after we're there, and then he's like, we're there for like a week in Jeju, right? We leave on Tuesday.
Oh.
It's
week in Jeju? That feels too long.
It feels too long. So
that's like saying a week in Vegas or something. Like it's a 3 day event.
It's also not a full week, right? So we woke up on Tuesday, we drove, and so we're actually in Jeju by like Wednesday night.
Okay.
No. Yeah, Wednesday night. And so, and then we're there until Saturday, like Friday. And then he's like describing us going back around the island the other way, getting to Jeju City, and then doing the same thing with the fucking ferry and the car, and then driving the other way.
Up the other side of Korea.
Up the other side of Korea, and going to like where
Busan?
my mom is, like Busan, and like by the way, my imo isn't even there. She's in Seoul. My mom, by the way, has not seen any of her other sisters. Only my imo.
What the hell? And who is this? The guy who is who? Her
imo,
brother?
My imo, yeah. Her
brother-in-law. What the fuck? So are they talking?
Yes,
in the car.
They're very close. This is
they are.
My mom's closest sister, right?
Okay,
they're the closest.
So at least there's like fun conversation happening.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
But at a certain point, after like we're at this museum and I'm realizing the plan, and I'm realizing like it's Friday, and so he's not planning on us getting back to Seoul until Sunday. So it's gonna be another 3 days of driving. And I say to my mom, I look at her and I was like, I can't do this. I'm sick. I can't do this. I say, I'm gonna book a flight today.
Yeah, it's back to Seoul.
Back to Seoul.
To Incheon. Yeah.
Yeah. Gimpo.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, and you were not told this itinerary. That is a crazy way to be surprised.
Honey,
I would be so pissed.
I'm literally looking at her and she's like, yeah, but I'm
so
also
fucking pissed.
And I'm like, you haven't seen your family.
Yeah. Why are you doing this?
Like, we're going to be here until Sunday? Are you insane? And then
for why?
For why? So we can see the other side of this, and it's like so crazy. And like, you know, again, my mom is elderly.
Yeah.
She's kind of like, it's a lot of time in the car.
Yeah, to sit like that. Yeah.
Because also we're driving around fucking Jeju. You know what I mean? It's
and are you stopping at places? Or are you just driving? Like, are you eating some amazing stuff or?
Oh yeah, we're eating like it's like it's very fun all the way, but it is very fun. But this is like the itinerary is insane and intense, right?
Yeah.
So I book a flight and I'm like, we have to leave, and now it's like a whole drama with the family though, right?
Because Imobu is being like,
and
I did this for you.
This is when the Koreanness, and this is when all of this is happening. 이모부한테 이렇게 어떻게 이렇게 말해? Like, right? Like, what are we gonna say? What is all this stuff? And all of a sudden, it's like, because they don't live here, right? And because I'm not always engaged in all this, and my mom isn't either. There's all this like family politics and dynamics that you're walking into. Mm-hmm. And this is the thing about Korean culture is that, you know, what we were saying before in the last episode about like how stoic everyone is, right? Like we are very withholding, but there are so many intricate rules around manners and what you say and lip service and how you really feel.
Yes.
And like how those things are supposed to be interpreted. And it's all like in play.
Right.
With like all the other stuff.
And is this guy older than your mom or younger?
He's like, she is the younger. My mom is the second oldest daughter. Oldest imo lives in Busan imo. My mom. Then it's the sister under her, which is like fancy Seoul imo. And then there's this imo.
Okay, so she is older in status than his wife. Because that matters on like how rude you can be or like what you can get away with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So she can do that.
Yeah, she can. She has clout.
Clout.
Yeah.
But it's also like still he's doing all this stuff for us, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I have to book this flight though.
Yeah.
And so
you need to get back to a city.
You need to get back to a city. And we need to get to Seoul. Yeah. I can't drive for 3 more days.
No. I would be going crazy.
Crazy. So... But also, again, very kind, very fun, like all the things. It's just, I can't.
Don't surprise me with it, though. Tell me so I could ready myself.
But also, that's a long time to be in a car without ever seeing family.
Yeah, and only seeing this one dude who's married in. Like, we came here for family, not a fucking road trip.
I mean... It's also he plays the traditional Korean flute.
Oh God! And he was doing performances. Oh God! This is a dweeb. This is a fucking dweeb driving a car around the whole country.
He's very excited to show us.
He's hashtag van life.
Yes. He's very excited, very specific kind of guy, right?
Yes.
And so I booked this flight. We go back, and it's like not trying to find a hotel in Seoul at this time.
Who's going back? You and who?
Me, my son, and my mom.
So you left this guy to drive back from the country alone?
What is it? He drove there.
But he's going to go back alone? Who's going to play the fucking flute for? You should have left your mom with him.
My mom didn't want to stay either.
Oh my God.
He's there with his wife.
Oh, his wife was there?
Yeah. That's my emo.
But you said she was still in Seoul.
Oh, there's
the other one. Okay, so the wife was there too.
Yes.
So it was him, his wife, your mom, your son, and you. 5 people in a car? What kind of car?
It's like a SUV. The 3 of us are in the back.
Oh, okay. So it's not crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm getting like freaked out just by listening to this. Okay,
yes.
So the 3 of you get on a plane and you're back in Seoul.
Okay, by the way, on the way back to the air, he insists on driving us to the airport, by the way. Okay? He changed the his like ferry ticket because he was supposed to take that ferry thing again. Mm-hmm. And drive it onto his car onto the ferry or whatever, and it was like leaving first thing in the morning, and they had this whole other thing planned. We were supposed to get up at 6 a.m. to leave to make it for this ferry. I book a flight at a reasonable hour. He changes his ticket so that he can drive us to the airport.
Oh God.
Peter, he drives, and all of a sudden I'm realizing we're not going to the airport.
You're going to the ferry.
No. He's driving us to another sightseeing thing.
What?
Trying to squeeze one in.
Another surprise? This is the communication is so bad.
He's like, no, you got to see this. It's a sand. It's a beach of black sand. In Jeju, it's like a very common thing. Black sand. It's a very beautiful thing. And he's like, we'll just drive past it. Peter, we're driving past it. It's not on the way to the airport. We're driving past it, and he's like, "Oh, the tide is high, so there's no beach. You can't even see it."
Great. Thanks.
So we go back around, and then we almost it's like tense because we get to the airport like not early, kind of right on time.
Yeah.
I finally managed. It's like, by the way, getting a hotel in Seoul like the night before is kind of hard. And so that's why I was like freaking out about it, and happened to get these points staying at the Four Seasons for 4 days for free.
Oh, that's amazing.
Points.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
Holy shit.
I know. And so I didn't realize it. I just emptied it. I was like, oh my gosh, have I been accruing this over how many number of decades, And
did your husband know you used all the points?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would be so pissed. I'd be like, we've been accruing this for 10 years.
He didn't know. I mean, this is my credit card, so it's like whatever.
Oh, so, it was your own points.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Who cares?
So, yeah. And so we go and stay at the Four Seasons, and then at that point, we stay there one night, and then the next day, my mom decides to we go to my fancy emo's house in Seoul, and all of a sudden they're like talking. Everyone got together. It's very nice. Everybody is there. My son kind of gets to see everybody. It's very interesting to have. I mean, like, you have family here, so you see it, and it's like you have other people to affirm your reality sometimes, Mm-hmm. Like with me and my mom, I feel like sometimes it's only me and my dad. So, and we don't always agree.
Yeah.
And he's obviously biased.
Yeah.
So it was very fun to have like my emo affirm that like my mom is
cuckoo.
Like a cunt sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like it's literally her looking at me like, what? Like, and hearing all my other emos being like, 무슨 소리야? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're being crazy.
Yeah.
And like her like yeah, my emo was just being like, I know her 성격 and like this is how she is and blah blah blah, and then me being like, thank you,
a relief. Yeah,
a relief.
Finally,
like,
not gaslit.
Yes, to have someone just be like, yes, this is how she is, and she is, and like, and then me as an adult being able to see like that my mom is sort of like the mean sister.
Ah, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
you assumed, but you didn't have confirmation.
Like the one that like kind of talks shit and is like mean about things and like overly, all this stuff.
You're like, that's where I get it from.
Yes. Like really, she get like it was like crazy to see. I was like, oh my god, that is like such a me move to be like say something really like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like sort of like cutting in a way, and just be like, I don't know what, like that's the truth.
Right. Yeah. No, it's there's a reason why we are the way we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like and I don't have that because this family is so far away and like they're, so
that's nice.
It was nice. And so like at my Imo's house, they decided to do Chesa. And I realized in this moment, Peter, that like all of them have not actually ever gone to do Chesa together at my grandmother's grave. Ever.
Wow.
All of them together. All 6 of them.
Because of the situation.
Because
everyone's
of all of it. Yeah. Everyone's spread out. They're like
not because they don't want to or anything.
Yeah. No, because like when my mom comes like 5 years ago, my youngest emo, like my youngest emo could not make it, like blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like all of it. Someone was sick. You can't get it together. It's 6 people.
Yeah.
And so they all decide to go, and so she goes up to the shigur and like goes up there to do chesa with her sisters and her siblings. Very nice. But then that means that I and my son can be alone for a fucking second.
Oh, you didn't have to go?
I didn't have to go.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Oh my god.
Because I already booked the hotel.
Oh, right. You had to be in the Four Seasons, honey.
I had to be in the Four Seasons.
Incredible. Okay, so you finally got some alone time.
And it's at the Four Seasons, which is like straight downtown. Peter, this is the other part of it. Like the part was really exciting is that we were there right as like the demo for the impeachment for the president is like right in front of the palace, which is like 2 blocks away from the Four Seasons.
Oh wow!
So we can see the demo from our room.
Wow, that's
we can
awesome.
See, yes, and as you're driving by, let me tell you guys to bear witness to a peaceable, organized demonstration of the population of a democratic society exercising their right to protest.
And it working because he's out of here now.
He was out of here.
Yeah.
Right. So we watched that demonstration,
not like this
which was
country.
Entirely so orderly.
Yeah.
Peter, we watched them protest for hours and hours and hours until about 8 o'clock, which is like when they all shut it down because it is rude to be out there too
loud
late.
When you're late. Yeah, people have to sleep.
I watched them pack up their chairs. Everyone took their own trash.
Amazing.
Yeah, like when I'm
leave it better than you found it.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I tell you, all of them. This fucking line out of the demo.
What can we not do? Huh?
They folded up the chairs. I watched this fucking shit. We were watching it from and I watched all shut down, organized, peaceably, right? Totally organized. And then when the impeachment vote was announced, we watched a peaceable victory lap in the streets of Seoul with a concert, people celebrating, waving the taegukgi, like, you know what I mean? Like
that's all so cool.
It was very cool.
That's so cool for Seoul to see too.
Yes.
Yeah.
To see like,
and that to happen during our hands off thing is very cool as well. Because like you're seeing it happening all over the world. Yeah. That's cool.
It was very cool to bear witness to this and also to understand like everybody in Korea has an opinion that is not ill-informed.
Wow. What's that like? What's also like that's a nation that puts education at such a high.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like that's not something we do here. Like we actually like snark at people who are smart, you know, like or educated people. So it is very much a sense of pride that wells up in me because I'm like, wow, like not that there's not a lot to be proud of being Korean, but that's one of the major things that I think South Korea does better than the rest of the fucking world is peaceful protest and political action and that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, that's so super cool. And I'm glad that you guys were able to be part of that in some way from your ivory tower, but you know.
From our tower in the Four Seasons. As we chuckled in our lush white robes.
Yeah. Did you feel like Hunger Games, like those people who are like wearing the fancy costumes? Like, look at them suffer.
I mean, it was really cool to watch and also like interact with people because everyone was talking about it, right? It was
it's
not
the
like
thing that's happening in the country.
It's absolutely, and it wasn't one of those things where even if people disagreed, like you know, there was one lady I guess at the 백화점 like that, like my emo was kind of like nudging my mom, being like she is one of the people that is pro, like the president.
Like a sales associate or who?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, she was just like, it was such a strange thing to run into, you know, because so many people
it's like
are.
a MAGA person in out in the city. Yeah.
Yeah, especially in Seoul, you know what I mean? But in Jeju, everywhere, it was like signs, people being like, get him out, like everywhere.
Okay.
I mean, people are engaged and plugged in because everyone reads, everyone is informed. Nice. You know,
a
like
literate society.
It is because like it's like 98% of the people graduate from high school. Like you know, it's a very high percentage of people graduate from college. Like it's not
look
just
at what shame can do. You know what I mean? It's really.
It's also like you can also get a college education for about 10 grand. If it's from Seoul National to you know any university you want to go to, it's about 10 grand. Like from tip to tape, like you can go. It's expensive, even all of it given, but it's not that expensive,
no, it's
right?
not. It's nothing compared to America.
No. And so it's accessible. And also everyone is engaged. You know, everyone feels like their responsibility as a citizen.
Right.
You know, like it's very much a part of the conversation. So like also talking to people about what's happening and feeling their like sense of ownership over what's happening, their dismay, and also their informed opinion about what's happening, and that it's not driven by
it's not politicized.
It's not politicized, right? This is like there is something that's like this was wrong.
Yeah.
He did something
That's
he's
so
stealing
refreshing.
from. Dude, it was really wild because it's also, by the way, still accompanied by a very toxic capitalistic culture that is undeniable everywhere you go.
And classist
like,
as fuck. Yeah.
Yes. You know, like that's why it's such a strange dichotomy when you're there. And, you know, there's no.
It's almost that they can't see the capitalism and how it directly attributes to the corruption.
Oh, they do.
They do. They just don't care.
It's just hard to, you know, I was talking to one of the tour guides about it, and we did like a nighttime walking tour of Seoul, like my son and I, and it's so funny that I've been calling him by his Korean name so often. It's like it's hard to revert back.
What's his Korean name?
Toyeon.
Toyeon, that's right.
Yeah. So like we were walking along like the old city wall, and the tour guide is this like lady who grew up in Seattle, went back like a Kyopo, you know, but living in Seoul now, and like a freelance person, very interesting person, you know, and all of that awareness is wrapped up in also like a deep sense of Korean people are obsessed with things shipping fair, right? And things being right. That's why like this demo stuff is so entrenched in the culture. There's also so much like like social welfare is also like revolves around this sort of stuff, but the capitalistic part of it all is so deeply wrapped up in like everyone's dream, like the American part of it, right? This is the part where the colonization of America is so evident, because that dream is that everyone will be rich.
Right.
That is like really a big part of it.
That's the least informed thing about them.
Yeah. But I think it's like it's starting to really be strange. Like you see it a lot more with like this middle generation of people just kind of being like, it's not.
Well, it's also helpful that, like Finland or, any other like mostly homogenous country, because capitalism is less, you kind of see the seams less when everyone looks the same. But here, like, it's apparent because of racism, and it's like that's the initiating factor of America. It's like built on slaves, right? So it's like you used to have that in Korea too. There was slavery everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just the same looking people enslaved the same looking people. We didn't import slaves like America.
That's true.
So like capitalism seems it's a little more vague in those countries because you can't see the obvious oppression by color. But here it's just like so easy to see.
I mean, yes, because it's like literally black. It's literally black and white, right?
Yeah.
And so
it's just class.
Yes.
Like you look the same, but like it's people who live in this neighborhood or this zip code or whatever,
It's like it's also there's so the consumerist nature like of like the market of everything, like it's I don't know it there's buying stuff is such a huge part of
Korean
culture because Korean culture
like stimulating
also because,
the economy.
But it's like everyone buys small things like because everything's sort of like cheap.
Yeah.
And also everyone is outside, like you're in third spaces a lot because
like patios and shit like that,
because apartments are so small, especially if you're a young person, right? And also you're living with your parents, so if you want to hang out you're in a cafe, right? Like always.
Yeah. It's kind of like New York where you're like forced out of your tiny home.
And there's a lot of stuff in New York where you're just kind of buying stuff because you're in the street. There's a lot more market stuff. There's just stalls. There's this thing. There's opportunities for you just to spend small amounts of money.
Yeah.
Mercantile, right?
Yeah.
And so that is like one part of like Korea and like large cities that I miss living in Chicago, like that sort of like face to face like humanity. That you were just in New York, you know what I mean? Like it's just like you can't not see somebody.
No, you're bumping into something.
So that was cool. I will say, like at least with just as a side note about before I get into like the looks of it all, at least with Saul and everything, it was really cool to see different types of Korean faces.
Yeah.
Like you forget
like how various we are. Yeah.
Like,
because there's not a lot of us on screen here.
No.
That's why. There's like Steven Yeun.
And it's like pretty much the same. And like even the exports of the K-pop stuff, it's very like homogenous. But like you go there and you're like, right, like there's a lot of different looking Korean people.
Yeah, there's like more Mongolian ass motherfuckers and then Manchurian ass motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
A lot of like this ass motherfuckers.
Yeah, like Japanese Sino, like it's
so
true.
many. But also, I will say my biggest impression, like 15 years post, is that so many more foreigners. So many more foreigners.
Yeah.
Like not just like tourists,
expats.
Just people living there.
Yeah.
That are not just Kyopo, but like white people from Turkey, Poland, like a lot of various people from all over the world.
It's become very cosmopolitan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Much
Seoul,
more.
I think, in the last decade, after the K-pop expansion.
Yes.
The Hallyu, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah, that really, I think, garnered. And Seoul becoming such a, like, high-tech city. Almost, I don't know if it rivals Tokyo, but, like, it's trying to. You know what I mean?
And you can also, as opposed, I don't know. I know that people that have gone to Tokyo or gone to Japan, like if you speak English, it's like much more difficult there. In Seoul, you can have a full conversation in English with almost anybody.
That's cool.
Like because English is taught since everywhere. Kindergarten. Yeah. So it's like that's the second language.
You know what I've been seeing a lot of lately is Black people who go to Korea on TikTok and be like, this shit is ghetto.
Yes.
Like, because Black people love Japanese culture and going to Tokyo, especially like manga anime type,
yes.
And I think when they go to Tokyo or Japan and then they go to Korea, they're like, what the fuck? This is like third world. And that's so much of the TikTok I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, wait, that's right. You should probably go to Korea first and then go to Japan. You know what I mean? Because like, as far as like a industrialized or like whatever, like new country, Korea is like very new.
Very new.
1950s plus. Like Japan's been around way longer. So like
absolutely.
Yeah, it makes sense that their R&D has leaps and bounds over Korea. But like
that's what depends. Like what they're talking about. Like cuz I truly in the 15 years since, Peter, I didn't encounter a disgusting bathroom. Not once.
Amazing.
It was crazy. And I'm telling you as someone who's been yes.
Oh.
Like I can count on one hand how many I saw.
Oh, that's not a lot.
That's not a lot at all. And we were in downtown Seoul, right? Yeah. We were like by Myeongdong, and then we were in Yeongdam, which is like a little further out, but like closer to the river. Mm-hmm. But it's like kind of like the trendy area now, as opposed to like Gangnam. You know what I mean? Like this is the place. And it has a huge train station there, right?
Some vacants.
When I tell you, one hand, how many?
Wow, interesting.
One hand. And it was like, it was kind of crazy. Especially in, when we were in Jeju a little bit. But there's like most of the poor or like the homeless are elderly.
Okay.
It's the elderly. Versus like anybody like because of drugs or anything like that. Yeah,
kind of
it's always it's more like the elderly, like someone who fell through those sort of like cracks because life is hard in Korea. Like to make money and survive. So that was all it was, and it wasn't even like they were like scary. It was just like they were homeless.
Okay.
And they're like or maybe drunk. One of them.
See. Okay. Not a lot of like fentanyl zombie happening, like hunched over.
No okay. Part of that's not a thing. I'm sure it is somewhere, but it was not a thing.
That's incredible.
Yeah, but I didn't go to Hongdae or like other sort of like or Itaewon. Yeah, so like maybe it's different there, but that's the other part. It's like Seoul is so sprawling and huge. Like it's truly a very cosmopolitan. Mm-hmm. International city. Yeah. So, it wouldn't surprise me if there was, but not that I saw.
Wow.
And it was like what really, really stark, kind of strange because it's such a huge part of American culture now. To like, there's just one part of almost every single city now where it's like.
Don't go there.
That's just where fentanyl is. Yeah. This is just undeniable. If it's not fentanyl, it's meth, right? It's like just an undeniable part of American culture now. Mm-hmm. But it's not at all something I saw.
Wow, interesting. Cool.
And I'm going to tell you about this bathroom thing. As someone who's been going to Korea sporadically since I was a child, this bathroom thing really, really put me through a loop.
That it was so clean?
That it was so clean that there was all only toilets.
What do you mean, no stalls?
Like I'm telling you that I used to, when I was in, to be fair, I was also in the sugar like a fair amount, like in Busan. So like whatever. I don't know if it's still like that now, but I'm talking about like a urinal that's inside of instead of the ground, and you pee into that as a lady.
Oh, like squatting.
Squatting.
Oh,
So,
okay.
or like
I've never
it's a
experienced
whole.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that sort of thing. It's
Yeah.
like it smells bad. It's really not good.
Yeah.
Like that. It smells like if you've been to like certain parts of, I'm sure it's like in Italy sometime like that, especially if you're an older building where it's like you smell the plumbing.
Ugh, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't even a thing.
Okay. Cool.
First time I've ever been there that it was not a thing.
Wow.
I'm
right, Korea.
I'm telling you, every bathroom.
Wow.
And then also majority of the bathrooms, I'm telling you, heated seats.
Ugh, heated seats.
Heated seats, bidet, like
Toto?
every seat, whether it was car, toilet, what have you, heated.
Wow.
Right? Like, because we like to be cozy.
Yes.
Korean people like to be cozy.
Yeah.
And
we don't like a cold butt.
We do not like a cold butt.
No.
And even more, which was also very cute, was there were always like little stalls. So very often there were small stalls for children. Like a little toilet.
Oh, that's so cute.
Was just,
yeah. Oh,
it was like
a
just
school.
supposed to be yeah, like a little toilet set aside for just like a kid to go, and like a small sink, and like all these things that were like very accommodating for families and like small children.
Yeah.
Travelers, right? And like especially because we were on a road trip for most of this, so I saw a lot of like road trip
triggering me. To be trapped. That's like my worst nightmare. To be like trapped in a situation where like either by niceties or whatever the fuck you want to say geographically, like that I can't get out of it. Fucking nightmare. Okay, so how was the rest of your trip?
It was very, very fun. Very my son experiencing this and me being there with him, like he was like my best friend, right? Like he's the person that I'm experiencing all of this with, but he's also so fucking annoying because he is a 9-year-old boy.
Of course.
You know, and so like,
so is he getting bored a lot, or what is he? How is he annoying you?
He was just annoying. Like he was like so excited. He was so excited. He was like freaking out about everything, but then he constantly wanted to be stimulated and like watch something, listen to something. Could not chill, but then also he was the person I'm having this experience with, right?
Yeah.
Like he was also undeniably always very sunny and positive. Like everything was like very interesting to him. He loves like umshi, like he's like very good with like food. He likes interesting food, so like eating with him was really fun. We
what were some like bomb ass meals you had, or like did you like indulge in any like new trends, or like tell us about what Korea's like food wise?
Well, in Jeju, like black pork belly is like is like very famous.
Okay.
And so we had that.
Yum.
Very, very good. I can't tell you, I've never had better pork belly
than Jeju pork.
Yeah.
Wow. Island pig. Ooh.
Yeah, because it's like it's like
gotta be good.
But it's like everything about Jeju is also I've only been there once, and it was like one of the best meals of my life there as well, with the Hinyo ladies like selling the food that they're whatever they catch on the shores, on the rocks, and then you cook it on a gas burner.
Oh wow.
Like, and so you forget how much seafood is in Korea, and how like what like seafood base, and what we are a peninsula, you know, like it's like just that's what it is. Yeah. And also Jeju like culture and stuff like that, like their satori is very different. Like they, what is it they call their when you call like a waiter, you say like sabunim, instead of saying that, you say, what do they call them? Samchon.
Yeah.
Uncle. Like and it's like it's very like, it's almost like Cockney. I think the way that they shorten things and make things rhyme almost like it doesn't make any like it's hard to understand what they're saying if you're like a regular Korean even.
It's kind of more Japanese. It sounds very Japanese.
Yes.
Than Korean. It's like where it starts to blend.
And like I'd never had a kumquat before.
Oh.
You know where you eat the skin?
Yeah.
I'd never had it before.
Do you like it?
It was so good. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, it was so good. And then there's a night market there. And so we had like
oh my God. I love a night market.
So they have like a big thing there is like they have like lobsters and they have the meat and they flame broil it and they serve it with cheese now. So we had that. Oh my God. We had a lot of like, you know, like it's just the hot pot culture. Yeah. I don't know why. I wish it was a bigger thing in America because it's so good.
Oh, wait, hot pot?
Yeah, like just anything, like a cook of any kind with on a big thing. Why aren't we doing more of that?
Oh, like I love it. I'm going to a lot on the east side of LA. I'm going to a lot of like Chinese hot pots, like shabu shabu.
Yeah.
Or like any kind of like tang or like jjigae that you cook right on the thing. Yeah.
It's like truly that. And so in Jeju we had that. We had a lot of the kumquats and the tangerines there. They're famous for. And then in Seoul, I think the best meal that we had was in the food court. I don't know it's like a fusion of Japanese and Korean food, and they steam everything inside of the specific kind of wood. I forgot what it's called, but it's literally like I'll send you a picture of it. It's like I'll post it. It's literally like it's a box of like vegetables and meat that they steam inside this specific kind of wood, and like that's the meal. Like it was maybe
is it
the
smoky
best
tasting? Like what does the wood provide?
It's like not smoky. It's earthy.
Oh, okay, cool.
You know,
yeah,
and it's like there. It's that was like the fusion, and then we went to like a bunch of kalguksu places that are very famous in Myeongdong, very good, like all the stuff. We went to. We did have a meal at the Four Seasons, my son and I. And I asked the person there for a paloma. And the guy had never heard of that. And he asked me to spell it. Yeah. He asked me to spell it for him. And then I watched him and he walked away. And he's like, before I wrote it down for him, and he's like, listen, will you give me the opportunity to make this?
To learn.
I don't know what it is. But do you mind if I try?
Yeah.
So then I watch him go to the bar and watch a video.
Yeah.
A YouTube video of how to make this paloma.
Amazing.
He comes back with it and he's like, try it. And Peter, it was so bad.
Really? How do you fuck up a paloma? Isn't it just grapefruit juice and champagne?
No. It's tequila.
Oh, it's tequila.
It's grapefruit juice. I don't know how you fucked it up, but it was so sour.
Oh, God.
It was crazy. And then I took it and I'm like feeling bad because he's learned something new for me.
He didn't really learn.
I take a sip and I'm like, okay, it's fine. But it's so sour that I can't. And I also know it's going to be $20, right? Because it's the Four fucking Seasons. So I'm like, I take 2 sips of it. I try to take a third and I'm like, I can't do this.
Oh my God.
And then like, no mianhan that like I'm with so much like embarrassment. I'm like, listen, I tried, but I can't.
Yeah.
I can't eat that. I can't drink this. It's very, very sour.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, no problem. And I'm like, I'm just going to ask you just a classic martini. How about that? Just a martini.
No, why would you do this?
It was worse.
I bet. Because he had to watch another fucking video.
No. He's a bartender at the Four Seasons. Dude, there were full chunks of ice in this martini.
What are they drinking out of there? Like, are they just like drinking whiskeys? Like,
of course. It's just, it's not a part, cocktails are not a part of this culture.
But it's the Four Seasons, honey. Like, come on, you're international. No, someone
worse.
needs to talk to the hotel manager.
It was worse.
That's not no.
It was worse. And so then I couldn't say it again.
Oh god.
Full chunks of ice in this martini.
Oh my god. They didn't even strain it? Was it dirty?
Yeah, dirty.
Yeah, they didn't even have olive juice. They're putting like kimchi 국물 in it.
That would have been better. That would have been better. It was so crazy. And then
that's upsetting.
It was upsetting. So like, yeah, just watching all of that. And then but yeah, that was our meal at the Four Seasons, which was it was quite good. It was whatever. Yeah. I just think like it's hard to find a bad meal there.
I bet.
Yeah.
It's just the food is so good, I bet.
But it's like in New York though. It's like if you're not good, you don't last.
Yeah, exactly. The competition is too stiff.
The competition is too stiff.
The base level is high.
Yes.
That's how I feel about when I'm traveling to other places when I'm doing stand up, like New Haven or something like that. Just like the bar is going to be just so low that like even if you find something reviewed well, you're like, we have to like average this down because you're Connecticut. You know what I mean? New
Haven's very famous for their pizza.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. But like nothing else.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's all there is.
I mean, I don't need to remind you about the very famous Poopies restaurant in I think it was in Dubuque. I think it's a restaurant called Poopies, the best rated restaurant in the area.
God. Why did it have to be so on the nose?
But yeah, it was really very fun.
Amazing.
I can't wait to go.
Jealous.
Yeah, it was very fun. I wish I wasn't as sick as I was, but it's like the thing is like I can't. But by the way, because I did have to go to the urgent care when I was in Seoul.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
because you just got too sick.
I just got too sick. It was just like.
Did they give you antibiotics? What they do?
Let me tell you, there is no. Have you ever gotten sick in another country?
I have, but I would never go anywhere. I would just like eke through it.
So I have only other time this has ever happened to me. I was in Peru and I was about to go into the jungle and I got a UTI.
Oh God!
So I would not have had any, and it was just it was not crazy bad, but I knew that I needed to do it now, right?
Yeah.
And so in Peru, we were like on like this like whatever our person arranged. It just happened to be it was like the one night that we had gotten a fancy hotel because we were about to go to the jungle. Mm-hmm. And this fancy hotel got a English-speaking, American-educated doctor to come to the hotel. Had a fucking actual doctor's bag with him.
Old school.
Mm-hmm. Dressed impeccably, spoke beautiful English, like that continental accent.
Yeah.
Like pushed on my body in the correct ways and was like, this is the prescription, blah, blah, blah. Someone at the hotel went and got it from the pharmacist, brought it back. The entire interaction, the entire visit, $60.
Amazing. Wow.
Okay. In-house. It like he came to me, right?
Yeah.
In Seoul, I met a doctor. He told me that I had he said that I was like very constipated. He couldn't believe that's not why I came in. Okay. He was just like pushing out. He's like, this is all gas. And I was like, okay, excuse you. You know, it's like this where like my Korean was really bad because like I can't understand like medical jargon, especially, right? Mm-hmm. So I got a full IV, antibiotics, like 4 days of like prescription drugs 3 times a day, like 아침 저녁, like 점심 저녁, right? Like portioned out like that. Full IV, $80.
Wow, incredible!
Yeah,
Jesus, that would have cost $6,000 in America.
That's $6,000.
Oh my God, just
like,
IV alone.
Like, I mean, like, it's like you can talk whatever you want about your ideal health care situation in America, but it's not until you actually experience another country's healthcare system that you see
how bad it is.
How bad it is.
Yeah.
Like I had a full conversation with a real doctor. He examined me. And I had treatment within 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And then the prescription was filled within 10 minutes. Wow. And the entire thing. So I was there for like an hour and a half, got the IV drip, felt much better. Out within an hour and a half, $80.
Wow, that's unheard of. God.
Crazy.
I want to go to Korea just to get sick.
Dude, I would highly recommend, like, if you do want to go to, like, a lot of the medical tourism is huge there. I went and got Botox when I was in tour, and everybody there was Chinese. Like, everybody was Chinese. Everyone was Chinese or Polish.
Wow. Why doesn't China have Botox? That's crazy. That seems like a market that they could really flood.
But it was like literally everybody there was Chinese or like a foreigner. There was literally a kiosk in the lobby for you to scan your passport so you could get a tax refund.
Wow. Incredible.
You guys, there's like parts of it. So like, yeah. And especially you, Peter, like, because your Korean is so good, like, as a Kyopo, like, I think 10 years ago people would have been very impressed with you. Now no one's going to be impressed. But like it's but I think you'll, like, especially as a New Yorker, you'll lockstep with the rhythm.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, it's just like gunk. Like, it's so whatever, everything being an hour away, like by train, like, but it's clean.
Cool. I love that.
Yeah, medical tourism is huge there. If you want to go, you can. The flights out there, you can do an entire trip, be out there for a week, do all the things that you want to do, like medical tourism, like Botox and all those things for 10 grand.
Wow. All right, I gotta start saving up.
Check out Nice Indian Boy in theaters.
That's right. Get my residuals up. All right. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Appreciate you. And, you know, stay tuned for the next week's episode. But also check out the Patreon because there's a lot of fun stuff happening over there. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next time. Bye. Bye.